Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. Today we're going to talk about Ewan McGregor movie that just came out, Dr. Sleep. Years following the events of The Shining, now adult Danny Torrance must protect a girl with similar powers from a cult that feeds on children to stay immortal. This movie has Carel Struycken, who played Mr. Holmes from TNG, as Grandpa Flick in this, and it's awesome. It's also got Cliff Curtis as Billy Freeman, who's just a great character actor and plays well with McGregor. Ewan McGregor's on another level. He fell into the character Danny Torrance as he survived the first movie with his mum, but he's still haunted by the demons from that hotel, and he grew up to become an alcoholic and a bit violent just like his father, and he becomes a drifter until he meets Billy.
I don't know about magic. I always called it the Shining. The world is a hungry place. A dangerous place.
Kyliegh Curran is a kid with similar powers. She's very powerful, so much so that she takes it a little far sometimes. She gets a little dark, but she's being hunted by a cult of gypsies. The cult has some really good characters too. There's some background characters you don't really get to know, but we spend a decent amount of time with them, which really helps build them up as the villains. Zane McLaren plays Crow Daddy, and he's the leader's right-hand man, and you really get a sense of his value to the leader as he's got all this experience because they've lived many lives. The newest recruit, Snakebite Andy, played by Emily Lynn, has suggestive abilities. I like that she was hunting men at this and they were the prey, and then the group wanted her, so they took her, and she really became a victim of her own choices. This movie's got Bruce Greenwood, who played Captain Pike in JJ's Star Trek universe. It's a small part, but it's cool to see him in it.
Well, hi there. Get out of my head! Get out! I haven't felt power like that in so long.
The leader of the cult, Rose the Hat, played by the lovely Rebecca Ferguson, is charismatic. She has an old soul, and she's been feeding on children to stay young, just like a vampire. She might do some pretty cruel things in this, she might be evil, she might be a great villain, but she really makes me want to have a gypsy girlfriend. I love her morning meditations on top of her trailer, and that they all live in RVs, and she has this wicked bathtub inside. The movie is long, 2 hours and 32 minutes, but it's interesting. It's got a slow build, and it's well acted enough that you don't care or overly notice.
They closed it down and let it rot. But the things that lived there,
Hello, Danny.
they come back.
And once Ewan and the girl need an advantage, they head back to the hotel, which is great nostalgia and imagery, and excellent character development for Danny. Coming out of the movie, I would have liked to DH Jack Nicholson in there, but the director made a good point. He would have had to DH two other characters, and it just wasn't necessary. The budget was already high enough, and they didn't want to go really crazy with it. I love how when you get older in this, your shine ability lowers, which is why the cult feeds on children, with Danny being the exception, which is super interesting. He just hardly ever used his power, so he didn't know what he could do.
Yes, you run, dear. And then I will find you. And you will scream for years.
Come and play with us.
If you like The Shining, you'll like this. It's a great companion piece, and it's not saying much with movies these days, but I would put this in my top 5 for the year. With a budget of 45 to 55 million and the box office return of 57.5 so far, it ain't looking too good. The success of it really secured the budget for this, and although critically they did similar opening numbers, it doesn't look good and they're probably going to lose some money. But you made a sweet film, so hopefully people find it and give it a watch. Warner Brothers was actually working on a script for a sequel to it, but I don't think that's going to happen now. In the end, I'd say if you like The Shining, then you kind of know what you're getting into with this movie. The trailers are pretty straightforward, and it's pretty cool watching a gypsy cult hunt children and kill them. And it's like not apologetic about that, which I like. I like being treated like an adult when I go to a movie. Well, give it a watch. I recommend it. And as always, thanks for watching.